The Alcatraz Escape. On the night of June 11th, 1962, three inmates disappeared from Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary in what became the most famous prison escape in American history. Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglin had spent months planning and digging, using modified spoons and a small drill made from a vacuum cleaner motor to widen the ventilation grates in their cells. Each night, they chipped away at the concrete around the vents, hiding their work behind cardboard painted to match the walls. The debris was scattered in the recreation yard or flushed down toilets. To fool guards during nightly counts, they crafted papier-mâché dummy heads made from toilet paper and other materials, complete with real hair collected from the prison barbershop. The heads were painted flesh-colored and positioned on their pillows to create the illusion that the inmates were sleeping. On the night of the escape, Morris and the Anglins placed the dummies in their beds, squeezed through the enlarged vents, and climbed up a utility corridor to the roof. They brought a fourth inmate, Alan West, who had helped with the planning, but West couldn't get his vent open in time and was left behind. From the roof, the three men climbed down a drain pipe to the ground and made their way to the northeastern shore of the island. Using raincoats stolen from the prison and vulcanized glue, they had constructed a makeshift raft and life vests. Late that night, they inflated their raft and paddled into the freezing waters of San Francisco Bay. Guards discovered the escape the next morning during breakfast count. An immediate search was launched, and within days, investigators found a paddle and personal effects floating in the bay near Angel Island. The FBI conducted an extensive investigation, concluding that the men likely drowned in the frigid waters with strong currents. However, no bodies were ever found. To this day, it remains unknown whether Morris and the Anglin brothers perished in the bay or successfully reached the mainland. The escape led to Alcatraz's closure in 1963. The Alcatraz escape shows how easily parts of a human story can vanish. And the idea of missing pieces in a personal story is something many people experience today, just in a very different way. One of those people is Anna. Anna always believed she knew where she came from, but recently she started wondering if there was more to her story. Little details in family conversations never added up, and she realized no one had ever given her the full version of her origins. With the MyHeritage DNA test, she can take a deep dive into her own DNA, discover her family history, and explore her geographic origins. And for only $29, she decides to go for it. The DNA test is incredibly simple. Just a quick swab inside her cheek, pop it back in the mail, and that's it. A few weeks later, the results arrived, and opening them felt like stepping into a time machine. Her ethnicity estimate revealed surprising regions she had never heard mentioned in her family. Discovering that she carried Viking blood after believing she was 100% English her whole life completely changed her. And then came the list of distant relatives, thousands of them, scattered worldwide, people who all share tiny fragments of her DNA. It made her realize just how connected we all are. Finding her Scandinavian relatives became the biggest surprise of her life. This was more than just a DNA test. It was like a global family reunion. If you want to explore your own origins, order your MyHeritage DNA kit today. With my code, SIMPLE, you're not just getting an insane price on the for just $29. You're also getting a 30-day free trial, free shipping, and the Ancient Origins feature, plus so much more. Click the link or scan the QR code to begin your journey. El Chapo's Shower Tunnel. On July 11, 2015, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, one of the world's most powerful drug lords, escaped from Altiplano maximum security prison in Mexico through an elaborately engineered tunnel. Guzman, leader of the Sinaloa cartel, had been recaptured in 2014 after a previous escape and was held in Mexico's most secure facility under constant video surveillance. Prison officials monitored him 24 hours a day through cameras in his cell. That Saturday evening, Guzman paced in his cell as usual before stepping into the small shower area in the corner. Surveillance footage showed him sitting on the shower floor, bending down to adjust his shoes. Suddenly, he stood and walked into the shower stall, disappearing from view. He moved into an area of the cell not fully visible on camera. Minutes passed with no sign of Guzman. When guards finally entered his cell to investigate, they found it empty. In the shower floor was a 20-inch by 20-inch opening leading to a tunnel below. The tunnel was a masterpiece of engineering. It stretched nearly 1 mile from the prison to a small house in a nearby field. The passage was tall enough for a person to stand in, equipped with electric lighting, ventilation systems, and a modified motorcycle on rails that could transport people and materials. The entire route was reinforced with wooden and metal supports to prevent collapse. Construction would have taken months and cost an estimated $1 million. The tunnel entrance in the house had been disguised under a partially constructed building. Investigators later determined that Guzman's associates had purchased the property specifically for the escape. Mexican authorities were humiliated by the brazen breakout, which raised serious questions about corruption within the prison system. The escape route suggested inside help, as the tunnel terminated precisely beneath Guzman's cell shower. Guzman remained at large for 6 months before being recaptured in January 2016. He was extradited to the United States in 2017 and is now serving a life sentence in Colorado's Supermax prison. Pascal Payet's helicopter escapes. On July 14, 2007, Bastille Day in France, Pascal Payet orchestrated one of the most audacious prison breaks in European history using a hijacked helicopter. Payet, a convicted murderer and armed robber, was being held at Grasse Prison in southeastern France. At approximately 10:30 a.m., prison guards heard the sound of rotor blades approaching. A white helicopter descended rapidly into the prison yard, landing in the exercise area. 4 masked men emerged from the aircraft. The whole operation to extract Payet took less than 5 minutes. The helicopter lifted off with Payet aboard, flying over the prison walls and disappearing into the countryside. Police later found the abandoned helicopter in a nearby town. The pilot, who had been hired for what he thought was a sightseeing tour, had been forced at gunpoint to participate, but has not been harmed. "There was no violence," the pilot said. "They told me if I followed orders there would be no harm." This was not Payet's first helicopter escape. In 2001, while imprisoned at a different facility, accomplices had hijacked a helicopter and plucked him from a prison yard in a nearly identical operation. After that escape, Payet had evaded capture for years before being arrested in 2005. Following his 2007 escape, authorities launched a massive manhunt. Payet was recaptured 3 months later in the town of Mataró, Spain. This time, authorities were taking no chances. He was transferred to a high-security facility where outdoor exercise was conducted in caged areas covered with nets specifically designed to prevent helicopter landings. Payet's escapes exposed serious vulnerabilities in French prison security and led to significant reforms, including the installation of anti-helicopter nets and enhanced surveillance at facilities housing high-risk prisoners. Despite the improvements, Payet's daring breakouts remain legendary in criminal circles. The Maze Prison Breakout. On September 25, 1983, the Maze Prison in Northern Ireland became the site of the largest prison escape in British history, when 38 Irish Republican Army inmates broke out in a meticulously planned operation. The Maze, also known as Longkesh, was a high-security facility built to hold paramilitary prisoners during the Troubles. The escape plan was months in the making and coordinated by imprisoned IRA commanders. Weapons had been smuggled into the prison, and guard routines were closely studied. The breakout unfolded during the afternoon when a prison kitchen lorry arrived at H Block 7. Prisoners overpowered officers during food distribution, secured the block, and took several guards hostage. The plan centered on using the lorry to pass through the prison's main exit rather than seizing full control of the gatehouse. Some prisoners wore pieces of officer clothing taken from hostages to delay recognition. An officer managed to trigger an alarm, but the warning was initially dismissed before the full alert was raised. As the lorry slowed near the gate, prison staff realized what was happening and blocked its path using their own vehicles. With the escape route cut off, the prisoners abandoned the lorry and ran through the main gate toward the outer perimeter. Several escapees hijacked nearby vehicles and fled in different directions. The escape triggered a massive security response across Northern Ireland. 19 prisoners were recaptured within hours, and many more in the following days and weeks, though some managed to evade capture for extended periods, with several reaching the Irish Republic. One prison officer died of a heart attack after the escape, and others were seriously injured. The breakout was a major embarrassment for British authorities and led to a comprehensive review of prison security across the United Kingdom. The Punta Carretas Tunnel. On September 6, 1971, 111 political prisoners escaped from Punta Carretas prison in Montevideo, Uruguay, through an elaborately constructed tunnel in what became one of the largest prison breaks in Latin American history. The escapees were members of the Tupamaros, a leftist urban guerrilla movement that had been waging an armed campaign against the Uruguayan government. The tunnel operation had been planned for months by both prisoners inside the facility and Tupamaros operatives on the outside. The group purchased a house located near the prison, posing as a normal family to avoid suspicion. From the basement of this house, they began digging a tunnel toward the prison. The excavation was an enormous undertaking. The tunnel stretched approximately 130 feet from the house to a point beneath the prison. Diggers worked in shifts around the clock, removing soil in bags and disposing of it discreetly. The tunnel was reinforced with wooden supports to prevent collapse and was tall enough for a person to crawl through on hands and knees. The most challenging aspect was precision. The tunnel had to surface at exactly the right location within the prison to be useful. Using measurements and inside information from imprisoned members, the diggers calculated their route carefully. Inside the prison, Tupamaros inmates prepared for the escape by loosening floorboards in a specific cell and waiting for the tunnel to breach. On the night of September 6th, the tunnel finally broke through into the prison floor. Over 100 inmates quietly made their way to the cell, descended into the tunnel, and crawled to freedom. The escape was discovered only the following morning during roll call. By then, the prisoners had scattered throughout Uruguay and neighboring countries. Authorities were stunned by the scale and sophistication of the operation. The Punta Carretas escape was a significant blow to the Uruguayan government and demonstrated the Tupamaros' organizational capabilities. However, the government responded with a massive crackdown. Within months, most of the escapees were recaptured, and the military eventually crushed the Tupamaros movement by 1972. The tunnel itself became a symbol of resistance, and the story remains famous throughout Latin America. Punta Carretas prison was eventually closed and later converted into a shopping mall. Redoine Faïd's helicopter escape. On July 1, 2018, French armed robber Redoine Faïd escaped from Redoine prison near Paris in a brazen helicopter operation that lasted just minutes. Faïd, known as the author because he had written a book about his criminal career, was serving a 25-year sentence for a 2010 robbery that resulted in the death of a police officer. The escape occurred during visiting hours on a Sunday morning. At approximately 11:30 a.m., prison staff and inmates heard a helicopter approaching. The aircraft descended rapidly into the prison's visiting area courtyard, hovering just above the ground. 3 heavily armed and masked men emerged, carrying assault rifles. They immediately deployed smoke grenades to obscure visibility and create confusion. The commandos knew exactly where they were going. While 2 provided cover, the third man used power tools to cut through the door, leading from the visiting area to the interior of the prison. Faïd had been in the visiting room with his brother when the helicopter arrived. Guards attempted to secure the area, but the smoke and the threat of armed assault made intervention extremely dangerous. The entire operation took less than 10 minutes. The raiders located Faïd, escorted him through the breached door to the courtyard, and all 4 men boarded the helicopter. The aircraft lifted off and flew north toward Paris. Police scrambled to respond, but the helicopter had already disappeared. Investigators later found the abandoned helicopter in the town of Gonesse, about 30 miles from the prison. The aircraft had been stolen earlier that day from a flight school. Nearby, police discovered a burned-out getaway car that had been used to flee from the helicopter landing site. The escape triggered a massive manhunt involving thousands of officers. Faïd's face was plastered across media throughout Europe. Despite the publicity, he remained at large for nearly 3 months, believed to be hiding with accomplices. On October 3, 2018, police finally tracked Faïd to an apartment in Creil, north of Paris. They raided the location and arrested him along with 3 associates. Faïd was returned to prison, this time under much stricter security measures. The audacious escape had exposed serious flaws in French prison security, particularly regarding airspace protection over correctional facilities. Authorities subsequently installed enhanced anti-helicopter measures at high-security prisons across France. Shout out to MyHeritage again for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget, with my code SIMPLE, you can get the full MyHeritage bundle for the exact same price as the DNA kit, $29. That means 30-day trial, free shipping, ancient origins, and much more.